I used to work for Deloitte, I used to work for a tech company, I'm a chartered accountant. I was in the middle of COVID alongside Adam, who also works here at Espace, and we said, why don't we move into Dubai in 2 years and completely switch it up and move away from our finance backgrounds and learn a new set of skills in sales, and we always had an interest in property. We switched up, we decided to move into sales and real estate as well, and the rest is history, I guess.
We've got Jake being promoted to gold agent. Well done, Jake. Well done, buddy.
Espace's presence in the market is second to none, in my opinion. And I think for me to progress my career to the next level, being alongside the likes of Danny, Robbie, Roberto, that have been in the game for several years, that's who I wanted to be around. That's who I wanted to learn from.
Welcome back to the Path to Real Estate Success with Espace Real Estate, and I'm delighted to be sitting with Jake Matthews Hubbard, Senior Client Manager at Espace. Welcome to the show, Jake.
Thank you very much for having me.
Jake has enjoyed a 5-year career in London, chartered accountant for Deloitte in the M&A department.
Correct.
And then made the move to Dubai to embark on his real estate journey. Can you tell us a bit about that, Jake? What sparked the move?
Yeah, I guess I was in the middle of COVID alongside Adam, who also works here at Espace, and we said, why don't we move into Dubai in 2 years and do something similar to what we was doing? And that conversation quickly progressed to, why don't we completely switch up and move away from our finance backgrounds and learn a new set of skills in sales? And we always had an interest in property, and we'd seen a few videos here and there of how crazy Dubai looked. We'd never been outside of Europe, so
you've never been to Dubai before?
Never been to Dubai before.
Never been to Dubai?
Never been, no. So
wow.
Yeah, we switched up. We decided to move into sales and real estate as well, and the rest is history, I guess.
And now you're here. Were you nervous coming? Did you have sales experience before joining?
No sales experience.
You had
no.
no sales experience.
Yeah.
Was that a worry in the back of your head?
I saw a lot of companies advertising that you needed at least 2 years sales or like real estate experience as well. So I was like, oh, maybe this isn't for me, being familiar with a spreadsheet and the finance side of things. Like maybe it's going to be a big challenge, but I think we've done a lot of preparation in terms of like studying sales, like psychology behind it as well. But the only way to really learn it is to dive in the deep end, which we did.
Yeah. Can you remember what your first few months were like?
Well, it's quite intense because we got filmed alongside the show at our previous company. And then obviously, again, learning a new market, new industry, just getting settled. Like I look back at the first 3 to 6 months and it's all a blur. It went like that. So.
You started in leasing, correct?
Yeah.
And then you transitioned into sales. How soon after that?
Yeah, so I did leasing for about 2 months in Emirates Living, where I specialize now. And I kind of felt ready to jump straight into sales. Like I saw there was a bigger opportunity, similar kind of skills needed at a slightly slower pace than leasing, because I think leasing, you need to be very reactive, meet clients as soon as possible, get new listings, whereas sales, there's a process behind it. There's a strategy behind selling a property and going on a journey of a buyer to find their next home or investment as well. So yeah, quickly jumped into sales, and yeah, I'm glad I made that move as well.
And for people watching that, maybe considering a career in real estate, but like yourself, didn't have sales experience, do you think it was beneficial starting in leasing? Did you learn skills there?
I think there's no right answer. For me, I wanted to do sales because it was a bigger opportunity. And again, I don't think there's one right way to do it or another. I think with sales, you have to be prepared that, for me, my first deal came after 3 months of transitioning into sales, after 2 months of leasing experience. So you need to have that patience and resilience that it's not going to come straight away. You need to learn the process. You need to learn your area, be knowledgeable, and build that rapport with clients as well. So it doesn't just happen overnight, and you have to be prepared for that. I think people come out and they want instant success, whereas leasing, I think it's a bit more forgiving in that sense, where you're going to do deals quicker, you're going to get exposed to transactions more. So yeah, I think if you want to build up your network and get that exposure and those lessons quicker, then leasing's a great route as well.
Okay. And many people that we speak to always say they kind of had like that sink or swim moment. Did you experience anything like that?
I don't think so, to be fair. I think it all went quite smoothly and to plan. Like I've always been quite consistent. I think there's only been a couple of times where I haven't done a deal in a single month, but then quickly bounced back the next month. So yeah, I've never really had a moment where I was like, yeah, I think I need to go back. And I think, again, I did have Adam alongside me doing the same things. I wasn't on my own. I had someone on the same journey as well. So yeah, I didn't really have any sink or swim moments really.
And I suppose that ties in nicely to my next question. You had obviously established career in the UK. What skills do you think were transferable into your new role in real estate?
I think it always surprises clients when we're speaking and they find out I used to work for Deloitte, I used to work for a tech company, I'm a chartered accountant. They look quite surprised because it's not the traditional route into real estate as well. I think for me, it allows me to have a different conversation with clients. Like I know my way around the spreadsheet, I understand the way some clients think they're also in the same industries. We can have that discussion. We can have that discussion about the economy or where things are moving as well, which I think some agents might not be familiar with. So I think that's definitely set me apart with some clients, and it's helped me build that rapport and get additional client referrals as well, that this isn't your traditional real estate broker. He's got a different set of skills and he can assist with that process as well. It's another establishment of branding, having that behind you as well, and just being a bit different, standing out.
And what skills do you think, and maybe you pick them up from others as well, that you need to succeed in this industry?
It's a people's game. You have to be good with people. You have to be able to understand what they're looking for. Very simply, we are matchmakers. We are problem solvers. So we're bringing two parties together to find something that works for everyone. You truly have to understand what they're looking for to connect the dots together. And I think some people rush that process. When you know what someone's looking for, it's just then a matter of finding it and then doing your best to bring the two together.
And Jake, just going back to when you first moved here, you were in another company, obviously, when you moved to Dubai, and you were getting on really, really well there. What were you in the team you were working in? Emirates Living, was it?
Yeah, correct.
Emirates Living, and you kind of made yourself up to the top broker in that area.
Within my first years of sales, I was the number one Emirates Living sales broker in the team.
And then you moved to Espace. What sparked the move?
I think very early on at my previous company, being in Emirates Living, which is Espace's bread and butter from its inception, it was kind of accepted that Espace was number one. And I think I come in wide-eyed and thinking we can take them on. But I think over time, we quickly realized the level of seniority that Espace had and the presence they had in the market. It's very hard to out-rep that in a short space of time. So a lot of the time when we was going on the process with buyers, we'd have 1, 2, 3 properties to show them. And then they're saying, what else do we have? And then we were limited versus here at Espace. I remember in our first meeting together when Robbie was just reeling off all the properties he had for sale. We wouldn't have seen that level of properties for sale at that point in time for probably 6 to 12 months. So just the intensity that...
And that was just one broker with Robbie.
That was just one, of course, and there's many good brokers like Robbie as well. So I often get the feedback from clients now as well, is that in the space of 3-4 hours, I can show you 10 to 15 properties. I can speed up that journey. I can show you all the options you're looking for across multiple communities as well. And I think that was one of the things that was limited in terms of stock and availability, because Espace's presence in the market is second to none, in my opinion. And I think for me to progress my career to the next level, being alongside the likes of Danny, Robbie, Roberto, et cetera, that have been in the game for several years, they live and breathe it, they live in the community as well. That's who I wanted to be around. That's who I wanted to learn from. And I think it's been success so far. Like me and Danny have just done our third deal together. I've done 3 deals with Matty, Robbie, etc. So I know that when I bring them an offer, that they're going to be able to push it over the line, or they bring me an offer, I'm confident that I can push it over the line as well. And it's just learning from them to see how I can become a more rounded broker and a better broker as well, which I think it's been a success so far.
That ties in nicely. I was going to ask, what has been the reward for moving? Has it been a reward? Has it been a success?
I doubled my output in my first year. It's just over a year since I've been at Espace. So obviously there was a period of getting settled, learning the system, getting to know everyone. But I think after 3 months of settling in, things picked up quite quickly. So far this year, I've already had a record year. Last month was my record month and quarter. So just about kicking on. Got promoted earlier this year to gold. So now in touching distance of platinum as well. And then obviously there's the long-term ambition of being associate director as well.
You mentioned Roberto, Danny, Robbie. You're obviously surrounded by quite high performers. What do you admire about them?
They're consistent. They're very, very consistent. I mean, the deal I've just done with Danny, it's a long-term client that would only work with Danny. Again, you can't out-rep that. You can't just get that overnight. That's like the rapport and relationship you need to build with time. And it's when there's a number of brokers that have extensive number of relationships like that will only work with that specific broker. When you bring everyone together in a team like that, it just compounds together. And that's why we do so many deals together in these communities as well.
I suppose many people, we're talking about your success, the team's success, but many people don't succeed in this industry. It's hard. What do you think you do day in and day out that others don't do and that makes you succeed?
I think I'm consistently consistent. Like every day I have a very set structure. I'm catching up with sellers on a Monday. I'm catching up with my hottest buyers on a Monday. Tuesday I'm catching up with, warmer buyers that are still on the journey, on the process as well. So I think I have a good system behind everything. I'm always out and about doing viewings. I think I'm number one broker in the company in terms of number of viewings this year. And again, I think that's a testament to the fact that I can reach out to my clients and book in a viewing tour in one day and see 10 to 15 properties. And again, clients have said other agents that we're working with, they've only shown me 2 or 3 and you've shown me 5 times that. Again, and it speeds up that journey that sometimes it takes, 2 months, 3 months to find a property. When we have an open house event where we can do that all in one day and speed up to an offer, then that just brings the process all together quick at once. So I think I'm always out and about meeting clients, going on valuations, trying to bring new properties to market. And then, when you're out about, like, you hear one thing, you hear another. I think when you actually get in front of a client as well, you really learn what they're looking for, and then showing them a property is like, well, I don't like this, I don't like that, I want something in this location. You don't necessarily get that over a WhatsApp or a call. You need to get the vibe and get the feel in person. So yeah, I just think I'm very active and consistent and very responsive as well. I think that's the key in this game, that people want quick service. They want someone to respond to them and understand them as quick as possible. So yeah, I like to epitomize that.
Yeah, well, it's working, having just had your record-breaking month. What advice would you give to someone that was probably in a similar situation to yourself? You had an established career in London, everything was going well, and I suppose you took a bit of a risk moving to Dubai real estate. So yeah, maybe for someone that has an itch to move but is a little bit nervous, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I guess it's definitely a completely different industry. I always say I think real estate and sales is the closest thing to a sport you will get, because internally at Espace it's extremely competitive. Yeah. There's a number of occasions where there's one property for sale and we all have buyers with the same requirements and we're going into bidding wars effectively, and there's a process behind that of best and final offers, of course. I think in that sense, again, not just internally, externally as well, the level of competition in the market, you have to be on your toes, you have to be consistent. You can't not respond to a call, because then one of your colleagues might, or the competition outside might as well. So for me, I like that because it keeps me on my toes, keeps me at my best as well. It's like anyone that was or is in a similar position that I was in the finance industry, this role gives you the freedom and flexibility to go after it how you want. You're effectively an entrepreneur. How you manage your time and your diary is completely up to you. No one's got a gun to your head to say that you have to go out and do viewings on the weekend, you have to answer a call at 10 p.m. at night, whatever you want to do. It's up to you how you go and get it. And then with that comes the ability to earn as much as possible. There's no cap, there's no I'm earning a salary, I have a bonus at the end of the year. You can go and make your entire year's salary in a single month tax-free here. Yeah. And that's the opportunity that comes with that. Again, that doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to get to that level, but that's the opportunity here. And then
you have to be hungry.
It compounds further as well. Like the longer you're in this game, I think then clients recognize what you're about. They refer you to other clients, and then it just builds up from there. You're less on the phone, you're more out and about and just meeting more people.
And Jake, what is the next goal for you?
Well, now I'm gold, platinum is in my sights, but I have ambitions to be hopefully the youngest associate director in the company's history. That's a personal goal of mine since it's been announced with this new role. It's just about doing deals now.
Well, I've no doubt you'll get there. And Jake, would you do anything differently?
That's a great question. I often think if I came into maybe sales or the buy real estate earlier, not gone down the path I did in terms of my background, would it have been more beneficial? But I think in reality, everything I've done before that is just preparing me for this moment. Again, it's allowed me to have that separation in the market. So I don't really have any regrets, no.
Amazing. Well, Jake, thank you for joining us, and thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for episode 5.